Hello, everyone out there. This is AJ from Late Night Productions coming to you with an episode of Subnautica. Oh, good. We have a really good connection. Good. Sorry about that. I was just checking something. This week, back from wherever homework mine he's been in this week, is
Ashtar.
Hello, Ashtar. So, how's college?
Mama des.
Excuse him while he speaks Japanese and oh no. I don't understand what that means.
Fine. Fine. So is what that is.
Alright, I think I caught you up what happened last week, I think.
For anyone wondering, yes, that'd be college.
I couldn't do college. I don't do well under pressure. So like I said, I think I caught you up on what we did last week, right?
Yes, you did, off screen.
Yeah, I need to reinforce my base at some point.
I think I mentioned this last time, but originally Subnautica, the people who made Subnautica, were going to have creatures that would, more outright attack your base.
Mm-hmm.
But they scrapped that idea. I don't particularly remember why they scrapped that idea. I think it's because they were having too much trouble with coding it.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, the sunbeam is coming. That's good.
But yeah, the reinforcement on the base was much less of a suggestion as much of a necessity as what the idea was going to be. And then they decided at some point that it would just be too much work to try and deal with that.
Yeah.
So now integrity just dictates whether or not the base is able to survive under pressure.
So we have a lot of stuff to do before the sunbeam gets here, huh?
Yep. I should mention that you still can give feedback, but there's not really much that they're gonna do. They're done with this game. They're busy working on Below Zero.
Mm-hmm.
Which we will not be doing Below Zero until it is fully done, which may take a while. They want that game to be much better than this one, because this was their first try, and it's real good despite the issues that are still there, and this time will be different.
I don't know if we should go down here without the depth module.
Probably not a good idea.
Back up. Good shit.
Yeah. Just a brief blurb on Sub-Zero. It has the same mechanics and the same sort of UI and graphics. It just takes place on a different planet.
Actually, no, it's the same planet, just different part of the planet.
Sorry, different part of the planet. If you want to find out more about it, just go look it up, because there's a wiki for it, despite it still being in early access, if you really want to know more. Just be careful, there are spoilers there.
Mm-hmm. I haven't found any Leviathans yet, but I've been on edge about it, by the way.
Yeah. Again, I should mention there's only, the only, good passive Leviathan you have seen at this point is the Reefback, and out of all the Leviathans in the game, there's only, 2 which are passive.
I'm looking for the Mushroom Forest, because I've been finding a lot of good stuff there. You know
It's a rule of thumb in Subnautica that if it's not trying to kill you, you shouldn't bother it.
And if it's trying to kill you, run!
Yep. There's a few exceptions to that, like the smaller fish, like the biters. And in cases like the biters, you can just use your knife to get rid of them.
Where am I?
You are in the smokestack zone.
I don't think I want to be here.
Probably not.
Ever feel
Just a
like
quick-
you're being followed?
Just a quick blurb. There are biomes. As I mentioned way back, certain biomes will spawn like certain creatures and certain materials. So you have to go to other biomes if you ever want to progress. Safe shallows will never get you past a certain point.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, I should probably have mentioned this the first episode, but apologies to everybody who has thalassophobia.
And can you explain for us who are not nerdy what that is?
Fear of the ocean. Or, sorry, fear of water. Deep water.
I think Markiplier has that fear.
He might have a lesser version of it because it is.
Warning. Maximum
He might have it.
reached. Hull damage imminent.
Because remember, a phobia is the irrational fear of.
Yeah. I have no idea where I am. Just kind of moving around.
But yeah, that should have been a trigger warning. Last time and this time. Oh well.
Wait, am I at the debrief?
Yes.
How did I get here?
Good question. You're at the debrief though because of those orbs. So a large amount of biomes have tells for when you're in them. In fact, almost every biome has a tell for when
Maximum
you are
depth
in them.
reached. Hull
But I
damage
can't go
imminent.
down into it right now anyway, so...
Yeah, it's very easy to tell the
Whoa! Oh, I'm at one
Hey.
of the islands.
You're at one of two. So despite Subnautica being mostly set underwater, there are two islands in the game. One is floating by those. Yeah, so one of the islands is the islands we've seen now, which is held up by a bunch of giant floaters.
I think this is the one I went to last time. Oh,
The other island is
please.
the other island. Earlier versions of the game used to just be a mountain with really nothing on it, but now connects to something else.
But this is the Jelly Island. I don't know why I just called it that, but hey, I called it that.
Because floaters look like jellyfish.
True. And like I said, we have time to kill before the sunbeam shows up, so...
Yeah, this island's really good to stop by because there is a base on it.
Yeah, I've already scanned all that stuff.
Well, also for the food.
Oh, that's true, but I'm good on food. Good on food at the moment. Why can I not
Yeah.
English today?
I should mention that food grown in the hydroponics bins,
Mhm.
you know, the hydroponics trays,
Yeah.
it does not rot.
Huh.
So when it reaches maturity, it just stays at maturity. They might have changed that, but for the most part, I remember it when it fully grows, it doesn't rot. It just stays there.
So, here's a question. Should we go to the Aurora now? Or go to that other island first and then go to the Aurora?
The other island doesn't really have much on it, other than maybe like a few mineral outcroppings that's going to give you stuff like diamonds, I think. They're mineral outcroppings which are going to give you some late game stuff. Probably the better option was to go to the Mushroom Forest just to pick up, I don't know, some lithium or something else.
I was been
But-
trying to find the mushroom forest, but I don't remember which direction actually it is.
Do we have beacons? If we have beacons, we can make beacons to sort of outline where biomes really kind of start, or the easiest way to find them. No, we don't.
I think
One of two.
I scanned one, but I never found the other, you know what I mean?
Yeah, one of two, I saw. Aurora has plenty of stuff on it, though, so... if you want to go to the Aurora, I recommend bringing a fire extinguisher. Or two.
Oh, yeah.
As well as a decent amount of med kits and You might not need as much food and water because there's plenty of those smaller chests around the Aurora, which will probably give you those. But med kits and maybe a fire extinguisher or two is probably going to be what you want.
Going to the Aurora is an investment of like all of its own.
Yes, it's also a very good idea to drop off things, anything that isn't what I have mentioned.
Hey, look, bone sharks. What are they doing here?
Bone sharks actually spawn in a few areas. The most common area they spawn in, though, is near the mushroom forest. So
What do you think?
there's a certain zone where they spawn in a lot, but they can spawn in other places. Just be careful.
Okay, this is like a. Okay, this is not what I thought. This is not the area I thought it was. Moving on. I am running out of battery power in this thing.
Yeah. Another good idea probably would have been just to bring some batteries.
I do need to make batteries.
Again, most of what to do before you go to the Aurora is just like drop off all the materials you have and any tools that you have that you don't think you'll need. So usually that's like habitat builder and well, not the sea glide. Sea glide's kind of useful in the Aurora, but
I need the repair tool. I know that.
you do need the welder as well.
The laser door opener thingy.
Yes, you need that at least once.
I'm gonna go to the other island. Just look around for a little bit.
It's also a good idea to bring the scanner. Pretty much like the flashlight is one of the things you can just leave at home if you go to the Aurora.
I'm going to the other island real quick.
But it is highly recommended that before you go there, you drop off all of your materials because it is very easy to die near the Aurora and just lose them.
Yeah.
And back in earlier patches of the game, it was much less forgiving about recovering your shit. Like, when you died, everything you picked up before you went back into the pod disappeared.
I think that's still a thing, because remember, we were having issues at one point. Where...
Yeah.
It sounds like it's funny.
Yeah, although, I do remember that at a certain point it would just, like, if you didn't pick up anything, it would... certain things in your inventory would start disappearing. I don't know if that's still the case, though.
I don't know if I'm supposed to go here yet, but I'm gonna go here anyway.
Probably not.
I mean, I went to the other island and I was fine. I just gotta be careful when it starts to spawn in, you know what I mean? There. I am way off!
Yeah. It's a good idea to not directly follow the arrows because those arrows will not lead you maybe exactly where you want to go.
Oh, there's a radio message, but I don't have a radio on me, so...
There is no way to get a radio on you. The only way you can pick up radio messages is via the life pod or via a radio in your base.
Oh, by the way,
So
I
this is
had
the-
my sea moth run me over last time.
Yeah, that'll happen. One of the... not the issues, but one of the quirks of this game is when you are in a vehicle and you get out of the vehicle when it is in, you know, when you're driving it, the vehicle will stay in motion despite you not. So it is very easy for, if you are in, like, personal vehicles, mostly just the Seamoth, to run yourself over.
Excuse me while I kill this thing. Where'd he go? Did I kill it? Food. Probably scan it, but I really don't care. That'll be enough for now.
Yeah, so you can scan it if you really want, because... well, it doesn't actually give you an entry on how much food and water it gives you if you scan something. That's the one weird thing about this game, is that if you scan something, it doesn't give you like a general outline of how much nutrients
Foreign bacteria count has reached statistically significant
it'll
levels.
actually give you.
No adverse effects detected. Be vigilant for symptoms.
But I'm guessing that's because there might have been issues with that.
Ow!
Yeah, those leapers are
Annoying.
annoying. They're like one of the two creatures that can go on land. The other one are those things that look like stingrays that are flying.
I call them birds.
They're decidedly not birds. Scan.
Well,
Or not.
I picked it up without even thinking about it.
If you scanned it, you would have been able to make it.
I am not taking that jump. Nope. Ah! Ow. Okay, I did the jump anyway.
So I do know that you can drop things in from your inventory. Just don't remember how.
I had to drop some rotted peepers the other day.
There's another purple tablet on the floor if you want to just scan it. Or not.
Scans indicate this structure is composed of a metal alloy with unprecedented integrity. No match is found in database. Performing structural analysis.
As I mentioned before, scanning things is a very good idea.
Yeah, but then you have my attention span, you know what I mean?
Oh, get the cheats ready. Because that's one of those things, if you just refuse to scan those tablets, you will straight up not get the recipe for them. And there's only like a limited amount of them that actually appear in the world as scannable objects.
What's this?
Unknown language. Attempting translation.
I'm not a fast reader, but I know how to skim where I get enough information. You know what I mean?
Most of the dialogue in this game, at least the story of it, isn't really necessary to know if you want to play the game, but it does bring some insights into the past of the world.
Ion cube. Oh, you said this.
You can't scan ion cubes.
You can.
Oh, you can, huh? Never mind.
Shiny. This gives me so much. It should unlock a recipe for a certain kind of battery for me, if I remember right.
It does, but at the same time, they're also used for other things.
The walls cannot ascertain whether their purpose is aesthetic or functional. Further data required.
Hi, Mama Kay. How's the frame rate? Is everything does it look okay? Say hi to Mama Kay before she goes back to work.
Hello.
Unknown language. Attempting translation.
You have to wait for it to get done.
This place is bigger than it lets on.
Yes.
It's bigger on the inside.
Your best probability
This
of
is
interfacing with this
give a general
facility
idea
is
of
by
what this
accessing the
is.
control room in the
This
lower
planet
section.
did have somebody on it before, but they're not here anymore.
Here we go. Oh god. First time I did this, it scared me.
Yeah, these are relatively new.
Going down.
Like, compared to like the rest of the stuff in the game, those lists are extremely new. It used to be just like stairs.
Well, we found another exit at least.
Yeah.
Mama K
So-
says, hola. I forgot I can sprint.
Yeah. I don't know if sprinting actually makes you take more resources or not.
Ooh, another ion cube. Yes, please. Ion cubes will be useful. Oh,
Ion
yeah.
cubes are extremely useful, and the only problem is that ion cubes can only be really found in these sorts of buildings, which we don't know what the people who made these were called, but they were definitely more advanced than we are.
Uh-huh.
And they're gone now.
It's cool the building's lighting up as I get near it. Ooh.
I forget what they do to make the lighting do that. Oh, I should have mentioned one thing. In a few of these buildings, there are, like, artifacts of the people that used to be here, and if you scan them, they'll give you a little history blurb.
Scans indicate the
One of those
facility
artifacts was back
Aurora
there, which was, like,
lies beyond
some
the
sort of
story.
bomb.
I need another purple tablet.
Which was outside. Which you should probably scan before you pick up this time. Yep.
Huh.
Yep. So there's just sort of that sitting there.
Hey, has this been here this whole time?
I don't know, but you should probably scan it.
Well, I got the other purple tablet I need, 'cause I got the one that was outside. That's one I used to unlock when we first got here.
Yeah, and there's another one outside. There's like 3 on this island.
Well, at least I scanned this one, you know?
Yeah.
Apparently,
I don't
I'm actually below water right now.
I don't actually know if that gives the blueprint. It at least gives the data entry for the tablets.
Other way. Yep, see?
Yep. The tablets in this game aren't cheap, but the ones you're going to be using the most, which are the purple ones, I don't know if there's like 3 or 4, but there might be enough in the world that if you find them all, that you can just not need to make them.
Yeah.
I'm probably wrong about that, though.
Oh, I remember this.
Those with fear of needles might want to look away.
You are warned now. So I'm just gonna look this way. I hate needles. I'm screwed. Just tell me when it's done. We good?
Should be good now.
The control panel is broadcasting a message. Translation reads, "Warning, infected individuals may not disable the weapon. This planet is under quarantine."
Well, we're infected, huh?
With what is the question?
Yeah.
Translating background broadcast. Downloading summary to databank. Self-scan complete. Bacterial infection in your system is progressing. Detecting skin irritation and immune system response.
So yeah, there's
Further
more
data
than just this
required to
facility on this
identify
planet.
Bacterial strain.
But where the rest are is a good question, because there's none of this race left to say, hey, it's over there.
Yeah. We still have about 16 minutes until the sunbeam shows up.
There's a distinct problem with that. If this planet's under quarantine, how are they keeping it under quarantine?
I almost lost my way for half a second. This way?
This also begs the question, did these guys leave? And if they did, how? if the planet's under quarantine?
And if they didn't,
What happened to them?
yeah.
Did they succumb to the disease, or did something else happen?
Hey, I
These are
found the
questions. These are questions that will be answered in time
hole.
later.
Let's get back up top.
I remember exactly where that leads.
Woo!
Not the lift. Not the lift, but the moon pool. Or at least the dock.
Woo!
Whatever you want to call it.
That was fun. Can I do it again?
Sad thing is, I think this is like one of the only places with that lift.
Oh, hey, I missed one. Gimme.
We haven't really seen the other thing ion cubes do, but that's because we haven't really seen something that needs one.
Yeah.
It is interesting though.
Okay, I think we should hit up the aurora after we see, you know, the sunbeam. You know what I mean?
Well, that and drop off the cubes.
Well, that's true. That's... I need to get some more food and water in a minute. I think I'm going the right way. Yay! Daylight! Oh, this is the one you were talking about.
Yeah. So there is just like a broken tablet on the ground you can scan if you used all of the intact ones.
Well,
But since you have the blueprint, now you get titanium out of it.
hey, titanium's still good.
So there is a failsafe. I just didn't remember that there was. So apologies about that.
It's
I just
alright.
wanted to make sure.
Now, excuse me while I, you know, numb my face. Or get some food in my face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a couple of these terrestrial plants are actually the best for food versus like fish. The only problem is that they are a pain to grow, and they do take a while to grow.
But they can be grown.
They can be grown though, and if you do manage it, and if you do manage them right, they can be grown indefinitely.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem is that the best ones are the hardest to grow indefinitely. So usually, if you're doing Subnautica, you're going to just be growing either these trees or a type of tree we haven't seen yet, which is on the other island. Which
I will kill you.
Which we probably saw, called lantern trees, which grow a bunch of fruit.
Yeah, I saw them.
Lantern fruit used to be really good, and then it was nerfed. Hilariously. Yeah, the nerf for fruit.
Apparently I was on this thing's back for a minute.
Yeah, that's all sometimes happens. These crawlers, I think they're called, sometimes cause physics to just wig out a bit.
I don't think I should be in here without a flashlight.
You can see, though.
Hey, I found water.
Yeah, so this island has like one egg. The only exit is outside, but there's like this little pool of water with some deposits in it.
I just gotta be careful not to get turned around down here.
Yeah, this is a dead end. The other island, the floater island, does have an entrance in the underneath.
Yeah. So, on a different subject, when it comes to anime, do you prefer sub or dub?
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Despite the fact that I am somebody who is learning Japanese, I don't actually watch anime a lot.
You gather are the property of the All-Terra Corporation. You will be liable to reimburse the
But
full
either
market
or.
price. Your current bill stands at 3 million.
Most of what I was exposed to has been usually English subtitles with Japanese voice acting, but I did see a few that were dubbed in English.
Ooh, lithium.
I didn't really have a preference for either.
I prefer dubbed anime because it's hard for me to focus on two things at once sometimes. But if I have to, I will watch sub. Right now,
Again, I'm
go ahead.
I'm impartial, but that's one of those things of subs I can understand a bit because it's just like I'm hearing the original voice actors do this just with the translation, so it's easier for me to just sort of apply what word Japanese words go to what word English word. But dubbed is more of I can just hear what they're saying and know exactly what they're saying then, even if the translation is a little off.
Yeah.
Instead of having to do the work in my head.
So here's a question about the game: should we wait here 10 minutes, or should we go try to do something and then try to get back here in time?
There's not really, unfortunately, for the place we're in right now, there's not really much around. Like, this island is real out of the way of most biomes, and even with the biomes, it's over.
Very much to it.
This is literally all that is here. Like, this island used to just be the mountain, and that was it. Like, this island has not been much in its entire history.
Hi, Peeper. Hey, at least there's some outcroppings here that I can take advantage of for a minute.
Like, if you want to just look around for, like, some outcroppings for minerals, go right ahead. Just be careful, though. This is near the aurora, and near the aurora tends to be weird.
Gel sack.
That's a gel sack.
That's gonna be
Gel sacks.
real useful.
Acquired.
Gel sacks are useful.
Gimme.
Maybe not immediately, but they will be. The only problem with gel sacks is I think they might degrade.
No.
But yeah, don't go too close to the aurora and just stay near this island and you should be fine. And another piece of advice is don't go too high. Unless you're getting back on land.
What's that sound?
Yes. Whatever it is, I cannot hear it, so don't... Again, as somebody who's played the game quite a bit, this island was pretty much a death trap until they decided to add the key part to this.
I think this thing has a flashlight.
Yeah, just be real careful around here is all. Like,
What is that?
I'm not... It's sort of
You're
embarrassing for me to admit this, but I die quite a bit around here. Because one of the things that can spawn around here are stalkers, despite it being far away from the kelp. Like, stalkers and sand sharks sometimes spawn around there. Bone sharks, not so much, but... They might have removed the stalker spawns after a certain point, because I've not seen them since.
Passing 100 meters. Oxygen efficiency decreased.
I know, but there's brain core right here, so I'm good for the moment. If I can land on top of it.
Yeah. A good necessity to have eventually is the rebreather as soon as you're done with stuff around the aurora. Because the problem is that unless you're wearing like 100% of the radiation suit, radiation will leak through and you will start to get hurt. Like, it's a bit of a nitpick, but it's understandable.
You don't hear that roaring sound.
Oh, I know what that is.
I hope it's not what I think it is.
It is probably what you think it is. And that's why I'm telling you to stay... Yeah, that's why I was telling you to stay close to land and not go too high. And not go too close to the aurora. Because that thing tends to just wander about.
No, it's not a very good.
It's a good way to get yourself chomped.
Huh?
It's a good way to get yourself chomped.
As long as it doesn't break my seam off, I I guess I'll be okay. Using this thing for its flashlight is probably not the best idea, but
Probably not.
it's the best I can do right now, you know what I mean?
Because you left it behind.
No, I actually haven't built a flashlight yet. I know, not one of my brightest ideas.
Brightest, you say?
Oh, shut up.
You're no better. We have fun here.
Yep. I don't know. I just gotta remember which way is up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for people who experience vertigo, we're sorry.
Looking for outcrop.
That same apology goes towards people who also experience motion sickness.
Actually, I know this cave system does eventually come out somewhere. I just don't remember where, and I'm not really willing to risk it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's understandable.
I swear I can grammar today.
Case of the brain. Brain dumb.
We still have 4 minutes to kill. Hey, the sun's
Yeah,
rising.
Sunbeam takes a bit to get here. Like, usually most people just miss the thing with the Sunbeam because they're just sort of doing their own thing and not keep track of the timer. In fact, the Sunbeam didn't even used to have a timer.
Seriously?
Well, the Sunbeam would have an invisible timer is what it would be. So there would be, like, this invisible timer after you get the thing that says, you know, wait, we're coming in X amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
That would tick down, and once that invisible timer reached 0, the Sunbeam would arrive, and the that cutscene would play.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not cutscene, in-game cutscene, I should say, because you can still move around and do shit while that is happening. But at some point, I guess they decided that
dude,
since...
do you see that?
Yes, I'll explain that in a few seconds. I guess the developers eventually decided that since so many people were missing the thing, or just like straight up didn't see it, that they would add like a visible timer for those who wanted to see it.
Silver is useful.
As for what we just saw there, that's a bit of a creature that just teleported. We haven't actually seen it in full, so I will not reveal what its name is yet, but it can teleport, and it's quite nasty. We'll be seeing quite a few of them later.
Alright, let's pick a spot to watch the sunbeam come in, shall we? Right about here sound good?
Yep.
Actually, can I get up on this rock? Yeah, let me get up on this rock.
Can.
Yes! Perfect! Except for the branches in my face. There. Okay. We still have a little less than 2 minutes to kill.
Yep.
Stretch.
Again, Aurora's full of good stuff for us to grab eventually.
Yeah, but we need to get there first.
Yeah. After we see this in-game cutscene, we should probably go back to the pod and just drop off everything that we don't necessarily need. Like
I do
the
have
key.
all the radiation stuff on, by the way.
Yeah, but like we can probably drop off like all the materials in the habitat builder.
Yeah. I do need to build, I think, a flashlight. I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
I'm not sure if you'll need the flashlight for the Aurora unless it's at night. I don't think there's any really dark spots on the Aurora that I can think of.
I know I'm gonna need my knife, the thing to cut things open.
You're gonna need your repair
The
tool.
fix-it tool.
You're gonna need maybe a few batteries.
Maybe, yeah. I think I have some copper.
You might want to get some batteries for your laser cutter and your. I think mostly just the laser cutter because that just drains
Dude?
battery. Yeah.
It's moving.
Yeah, that's not just a building.
It go pew pew.
So-
Whoa.
Yeah, it's an AA gun, a very very big interplanetary AA gun,
AA.
anti-air.
You hear that? It's actually giving off a warning sound.
Survivor, we see you. Man, I don't know how you held out down there. We broke an atmosphere, and we're descending towards the landing site.
Where is the landing site?
Is that a building down there? What do you mean you can't identify it?
There it is.
Hold on. No turning back now. Positions, everyone.
And
Touching down in 10, 9,
Oh,
8.
no.
3, 2, 1.
It's coming from the building? Change
Bang.
course. Set thrusters to full.
Goodbye.
So that shot the Aurora down.
Mm-hmm.
We got too close to the planet and it shot the ship down. So after this happens, a bunch more scrap falls in the ocean.
Yep. They tried to help us.
Obliterated. So this is how the people who used to live here prevented the quarantine from being broken.
Mm-hmm.
And that gun works both ways. For things coming in and for things going out.
Let's go back to base, shall we?
Yeah, we need to turn off that gun.
But it says we can't do it because we're infected.
Yep.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
We'll have to figure out a way to
Become uninfected.
get cured then.
Huh. One of my friends is playing Red Dead Redemption 2.
You probably will want to recharge your Seamoth before we go anywhere near the Aurora.
Yeah. What was
Unless
that?
you want to sea glide your way over there.
I mean, I could always do that too. That takes, not the kind of batteries that this thing needs.
It doesn't, but you're gonna need a decent amount more of just batteries on your person. You're gonna need some batteries for the laser cutter, maybe a battery or two for, probably just like a battery for the repair tool, and maybe like a battery for your scanner. Probably like 2 batteries for the repair tool. Probably like 4 batteries is what you would need if you didn't use your sea glide to get there and around. You might want like sea glide takes like 2 batteries. Is it 2 or 1?
Oh.
Whatever it is, you're gonna want like 6 or 8 batteries.
That's a lot of batteries to carry around,
We'll bring 6 then. 2 for your sea glide, 2 for your laser cutter, 1 for your repair tool, and 1 for your scanner. That should be enough.
Yeah, I'm real scared of you, Rar.
If you want to be risky, you can only bring 1 for your repair tool. You bring only 5.
I'm trying to remember where I actually parked my base, because I know it's in the red kelp area, I just don't remember which way the red kelp area is. I think it's this way.
Yeah, so distinctly,
Oh, yep,
the
I
main
see it in the
problem
distance.
that is happening here is since we don't have beacons to mark things, we just kind of have to guess.
Use our memory. And my memory as of late has been kind of, what's the word? Stuckish?
Scattered.
Yeah, that's a better word for it. wrecked near the base, though, so we might be able to get something from there.
Most likely just scrap. Most of the wrecked pieces of the Aurora, not the main body, usually just have like scrap, maybe a blueprint if you're lucky.
9 new biological subjects designated.
I don't think we were supposed to get that.
Hunting, analyzing, sharing subject locations with other agents.
Well,
I don't think that was meant for us.
but somehow we got it anyway.
Probably because the radio just picked it up, sort of like a eavesdrop on it.
Yeah. Paper battery, mushroom, copper, and then silicone and lead, sushi jump.
Yeah, so if you want to bring the seam off, then
I need
you're going to want...
go...
You can bring 3 batteries if you bring the seam off.
See, how much copper do I have on me currently? That's not copper, that's gold. Wait, do I have copper in the base?
Again, you should probably just drop off all that stuff on you.
I have 1 piece of copper. Oh, great. Oh, no, give me my knife. I have a fire extinguisher.
That should be fine with just 1.
So I still need to get the opener tool, which, how do I make that?
Opener tool.
Laser cutter. 2 diamonds, a battery, titanium, and sulfur.
You have the...
I have the diamonds.
You have the diamonds, you have the titanium, and you have the sulfur.
Do I have cave sulfur?
Yeah, you do.
Oh, I did.
Right there.
Derp, 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 derp.
You have exactly enough diamonds and cave sulfur to make it.
I need to make 1 battery, which is going to take
Yes.
all the stuff I have.
No, that just takes that should just take 2 mushrooms and a copper, and that's it.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's all the copper I have right now.
Yeah, we're gonna need some more mushrooms and copper then. Because, I'm gonna be quite frank, the laser cutter just burns through electricity. Yes. That's why I'm saying you should bring like at least 1 or 2 batteries just for the laser cutter.
Copper.
Like, if you don't want to bring batteries on you, you can just use batteries like here and now to refill the Sea Glide and, you know, the rest of the tools you know you're gonna bring.
Yeah. But first, I need to go to the surface. I need to build a better tank.
What tank do you have?
Standard.
I think you can get the next one fine, but then but after that you need a special blueprint.
The rebreather.
No, the rebreather just extends the amount of time you can be under. If you want a bigger tank, there's like 2 tiers of bigger tank. Both of them are, you know, one of those chips.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you want them, you're just gonna have to build the thing that allows you to use those chips, which I think you haven't? I'm not sure if you'd need to scan parts to make that thing, or if it's just a thing you can build in the habitat.
Do not try to
as
bite
in...
me. I am not edible.
I'm wearing bright colors. You should know that this means I'm poisonous.
How many mushrooms do I need?
2 per battery.
So 4. 2 pieces. Oh, it's done.
But yeah, the main reason I said, like, bring as many batteries as I did is because I kind of forgot that you can just replace batteries on a whim. But it's one of those things of, I'd say if your scanner is at over 80%, you can just leave it.
Oh, can I make it to the base in time? I don't know how to tell how much battery this thing has. My scanner has.
Open your inventory.
57.
Yeah, you should probably replace them. That might be fine. There's not too much to scan in the Aurora, so that should be fine. Repair tool should also be fine.
I need to make a couple batteries.
But you're definitely gonna want
Batteries.
a battery for the welder after you make it. Well, not just for the welder to make it, but another one just to replace the one in the welder. And then you're gonna want another one to have on you just in case the Sea Glide runs out of power on you. But you're not going to be using the Sea Glide much, so you just want to bring, like, maybe just one battery on you.
You think we should wait for daytime before going out and stuff?
Most likely, because it's not bad to go to the Aurora at night, it's just kind of hard to navigate the Aurora. Also, I was wrong. You can just make the high capacity here and now. To make the best capacity, you need a chip.
Okay, got the silver. What else do I need? Past it. Silver, glass,
You have the titanium, but you have one glass.
I saw some of the stuff that makes glass.
Quartz.
Quartz, thank you. Here
You're welcome.
in the grass.
Passing 100 meters. Oxygen efficiency
I
don't miss-
decreased.
I don't miss the days of having to dig up sand to make glass.
Oh, that's a creature egg. I'm not gonna touch that. Quartz.
That was extremely archaic thing that I'm happy they did away with.
I think I only need one thing of quartz to make a thing of glass.
I think it's one. It might be two, but I think you have two. Yeah, it would be under resources if you were able to make it. It's two then.
2, yeah.
Again, it used to be sand and quartz, but then they got rid of that. For multiple reasons. Like, the two biggest reasons they did away with the sand thing is one, people found it annoying, and two, it was causing some issues with the terrain.
Didn't they used to have a trained digger or something like that?
No, what happened was, when you collected sand, it would actually cause, like, a hole in the sand. And so what would happen was that if you dug enough sand, it would cause some problems because you dug into the terrain too much, or cause the terrain to be shaped weird because of how you took away sand. They still have a terraformer in game, I think. That might be gone.
There's my other glass. I think I have everything right now.
There is a cut thing that I remember called an injector, which the idea was you would take creature DNA and inject it into you to get better. But that never made the cut. And I'm sad that never made the cut, because that would have been real rad. Like, you can still spawn
More
it in, it just doesn't
oxygen!
do anything.
I now have more oxygen. Yay!
Yay!
Got the batteries. Oh, I need to make the laser cutter. Oh, I now have the thing for the rebreather.
Yes, but, so, how the rebreather worked is that, above a certain point, your oxygen goes down,
I think by
you know,
3.
slower. It goes down it goes down slower. It goes down by less per tick.
Yeah.
Below 100, where it would go down twice as fast, it instead goes down about what it would above 100. The next threshold, I think, is like 150 or 200 before it starts depleting as if you were at 100.
Yeah.
It pretty much makes it so that you can stay underwater longer and at slightly deeper depths. Rebreather is extremely necessary later. Pretty much the minute you are done exploring the aurora and you feel like you've gotten everything in the aurora, rebreather is what you're going to be putting on and never taking off.
Alright. So I only have one battery because I had to use a battery to make the laser cutter.
Alright, so you can either decide to keep that battery as the laser cutter reserve,
Backup.
or you can replace the battery in your CMOS right here and right now, because it's at like 30-some%.
What do I need to make? Hold on. Silicon. Do I have silicon water? Oh, I need 2 batteries though.
For the CMOS?
For the power cell.
Why do you need a power cell?
The CMOS takes power cells.
I meant C glide, I'm dumb.
Okay, that's switched out. I wish I had a
You
charging.
should probably turn off the flashlight.
How do I turn off? There. I figured it out.
I forget how you make a charging station. You need to be in the habitat builder, though.
I even have the thing for a charging station.
I
Because don't you need to get the blueprint first and then you can use it?
think. I'm not sure about that.
Well, ooh. No. Okay. All right. You want to just go to the aurora now, or you want to wait?
I feel
for
like
day?
that's a good idea.
Huh?
It's probably best if you go day. You also probably want to get some food and water in you. Like, as much as I am saying, like, Aurora is dangerous, Aurora is more of just, like, a sort of, like, miniature expedition.
Yeah.
Aurora is a big ship, despite having a lot of parts falling off of it. So you're gonna want some food, some water, a fire extinguisher, and just, you know, some batteries on you to make sure that when you're there, you don't run out of something you need.
I'm gonna get the grab orb out and see if I can grab anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My base looks so lonely.
And you have a radio signal.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
This is an automated distress signal from Life Pod 12. Coordinates attached. Warning, Life Pod has sunk beyond safe diving distance. Do not attempt retrieval without submersible support.
Signal location uploaded. to
Yeah,
PBR.
so all the life pods in this game that exist always exist in a certain spot in a certain biome.
Yeah.
Life pods are never randomized.
Where should I put this?
Again, as I mentioned, like first or second episode, the terrain is the only thing that's randomized, so the life pod might not be in the greatest place.
I'm going to the safe shallows just to get fish at this point. You know what I mean?
Understandable.
Hi, Stalker.
I should mention that the game actually does take into account if you slightly overfish areas, and fish will take a while to respawn there.
Yeah.
It never gets to the point of where fish will just stop spawning in an area, period. But it is noticeable if you decide to just constantly take fish out of an area that less and less will spawn to a point. So it is recommended that you know, jump areas if you find that one area is not giving you as much as you need.
I need water. Look at the fish. Oh, the fun part, trying to catch the fish. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the grab orb makes it easier, but it doesn't make it surefire.
Don't need a boomerang. I actually wanted the Pink fish. Can't think of its name.
Bladderfish.
Yes.
Okay, most of these fish have kept their names.
I know the Gary fish kept its name from the beta. I looked it up.
Yes.
Butterfish.
Out of the fish that existed in the beta, all of them, except I think the peeper kept its name. Peeper might have been changed, I don't know though.
Think I got enough, or do I need a few more?
Just take what you got and cook them.
Well, first I need
You
some
can-
oxygen.
You can go back and just pick up the rest if that's not enough.
Into the life pod. I'm still wondering how ours survived, but no one else did. You know?
I don't quite remember what the actual story reason is, because the developers actually did have a story reason.
Huh.
Because before this game had, you know, like, fully fleshed out story, developers would sort of, you know, like, hint at things, maybe later. I don't know if they ever retconned anything, or if they just sort of hinted at the story that they would later fully create.
Yeah.
But I distinctly remember that it was because, the main reason that we survived is, I think, because our life pod only got, like... It was either only glanced, or we launched much earlier than everybody else.
Vital signs.
Like, I don't quite remember the exact reason why we survived, but it was something like that.
I think we're full up for right now, so... I'm just gonna leave that there for now.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons... I think the one I remember distinctly reading was that our life pod was furthest away from the reactor. Or, you know, the impact site.
Yeah. Alright, you ready?
Yep. It should be mentioned that most of the other life pods, if all the other life pods that do exist in the game, do have signs that people were in them at a point, you know, like the chips and whatnot.
Make sure we're going the right way.
But it is left up to speculation on what happened to those people.
The local wildlife didn't like them much.
Nope. It should also be mentioned that we're not the first people to come to this planet after the mysterious aliens that were here way, way, way before. But they also didn't fare very well. And you can definitely tell that it's been a while, it's been a few years since those people came, because their bases are rusted, or in disarray. In various states of nature taking back over.
Oh, I feel my anxiety rising. Ooh, a battery. That's useful.
Yep. That's one of the more uncommon things you can find in those supply crates, is batteries. Although that just might be me.
Ashtar, I have a bad feeling about this.
You should. Oh hey, no, stalkers still do spawn around here.
We're almost there.
Just ignore them though.
It's not them I'm worried about. And you know exactly what I mean.
Yes, but I'm not saying anything. Until we see it, at least. It's not through here that you get on the ship, remember?
The aurora's radioactive fallout will have devastating effects on the alien ecosystem if not contained within the next 24 hours.
You were saying?
Thought you were going to go straight.
Nope.
Warning, ship's structural integrity is
Some of
low.
that.
Fire suppression
Yeah.
equipment
You're definitely going to want to have your knife on your hotbar in place of your habitat builder, maybe. Or have the fire extinguisher where your habitat builder is.
Leave me alone. Hold on. I have my phone propped against my monitor. Ow!
And this is why you want your knife.
This is gonna be a long trip.
Yeah, don't worry. These crawlers are only on the outside of the aurora. As soon as you go inside, they stop spawning.
Give me that med kit.
And they don't do a lot of damage either.
They're just annoying.
You can scan them if you want, but there is an underwater version of them you can scan later. Although I think that's technically a different one.
Show the digestive tracts of nearby life forms contain human tissues.
Well, that's
They're carrion feeders. What do you expect?
they've been eating us.
They've been eating dead bodies, is what they've been doing. I don't think anybody survived this crash in one piece. At least anybody who was left on the ship. You saw what happened to the smaller ship.
Oh yeah. Might as well take a second fire extinguisher from here.
Yeah.
Ow,
I should mention, yeah, be careful about fire. Unless the entire sprite is gone, it will still hurt you.
That should be enough for now. Okay. I'm going to save my game just to be on the safe side.
Yeah. I should also mention that some fires are not like actual objects you can interact with, but more like textures. So a lot of the fire, like in that rubble, like in the middle of rubble and stuff like that, is just sort of like texture. So it can't be put out or really interacted with.
Integrating new PDA data.
Get a lot of batteries out of this. Ooh.
Yeah, lucky you. I mostly get either nothing or just like either water or food.
Ow.
Because it is random what those crates give out of the set pool.
Integrating new PDA data.
I should mention that some of the posters in this game are from other games that the developer has worked on.
Nice. Ooh.
Well, there's a file on that computer.
Hold on. Battery. I don't think I can get anything from
No, not that.
Oh.
That's a track.
Oh.
Integrating new PDA data.
That's mostly all that's there. There's like one part of the aurora that I distinctly remember missing.
Excuse me while I heal myself.
Yeah. So there's a reason why they give you those health kits, and it's mostly because the fire is going to be unkind. I guarantee you, the only reason you're going to be using those med kits is because you accidentally get set on fire.
I know there's probably an actual way to get across into that area, but I haven't found it.
Actually, that comes back from somewhere else. That's sort of like a one-way exit.
I need... Hold on.
That might be a texture you're trying to extinguish. Also, that rebar looks like it goes up. I could have sworn there was a way to get over there. Oh well.
I think it has to do with like the propulsion cannon or something like that, but I don't have the full thing for it.
I've done it without the cannon.
So have I, but...
Also, that fire is a texture.
Oh.
Ta-da!
There you go.
Let me heal myself. I like to be not at full health, but near if I can.
Yeah, I should mention that it is easier to find out which fires are textures and not, because the fires that are textures are distinctly blurrier.
Scans of damage to the
It should be in one
aurora
of your
match any known offensive technologies.
data downloads. Codes and clues. Yeah. Also keep use birthday in mind, 1806.
Ow!
Yeah, fire has slightly more range than it really should.
This place makes me nervous.
That's the idea. I mean, it's sort of falling apart.
Ooh, nutrient block. That's useful.
Integrating new
I don't think there's anything
PDA
else
data.
up here that I need to really mess with. Oh wait. Fine.
Yeah, most of the ship is just sort of
Falling apart.
falling apart. If you manage to find your way to certain spots of the ship, then go for it, but you gotta be careful.
Oh, I remember this area. There's little fighters in here somewhere, right?
Not spiders, a different thing, but I did see one swimming around.
Oh, yeah, they're
So-
like they're leeches.
Yes, effectively they're leeches, so how they work is if you get close to them, they will latch on, and you have to knife them off.
It's not fun.
This is the only place they appear. They used to appear in the they used to appear near the safe shallows, like just slightly out of them. But
Once
then
it's
they
that crepe, I'm
then they regulated them only to the ship.
safe.
They no longer spawn outside of the ship, which I'm happy about because they were
Out the water.
real annoying.
Which way do I go?
That's a
This is a cuttable door.
yes.
Let's put it-
There it is. Just put that over your yeah. You don't need your CMOF right now.
Nope, that's the end of it. I moved my phone to a better spot so it's not in front of my screen.
Yep.
This takes a while
And-
to do, huh?
Yes, and look at your battery.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it eats battery.
Integrating new PDA data.
Does this room go anywhere?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Integrating new PDA data.
Prawn Bay.
Oh.
Maybe I was supposed to go this way. Think I got enough batteries?
Probably.
But
Fire
first-
extinguisher might be a good. Yeah, 5. Just hit 5.
I'm not touching the fire. Come on. Three. Thank you. Oh boy. Come on, Ashtar.
Oh boy, indeed.
Picking up a faint black box signature originating on the other side of the hull breach in this room.
There's a better way to get up there, but sure.
Hey, I like the hardcore parkour. I'm running out of freaking fire extinguishers. The problem,
Like,
you know.
yes, but there's also a room, and I doubt scanning that is going to give you the thing because it's on fire.
Come on.
Oh, there it is, all the way.
I need more. I need 3 more parts. What's in here?
It's the living quarters.
On fire.
That's the canteen.
The first. This. There's a lot of neat stuff in here.
Aurora is really good if you've managed to find out exactly all the places you can go in it.
'Cause
Some
I
of
need
it's
to
just
drink
more
some
out.
water.
Yeah, some of it's just more out of the way than others, and if you just blitz straight for your objective, you will never find it. Like, I guarantee you that most people who come on the Aurora just think what's wrong and then leave.
I need another fire extinguisher. Alcohol. Fire
Yep.
extinguisher. Perfect.
You might want to drop the ones you have in your inventory that you're not using anymore.
Integrating new PDA data.
Might as well use up the last of it, you know what I mean? Astra, are you seeing this?
Yeah, that sometimes happens.
Okay, so it wasn't my brain freaking itself out.
No, Aurora's got some weird
Geometry?
geometry. A lot of the game's geometry is meant for like underwater, so when they put it above land, sometimes it doesn't play nice. Most of the time it's fine, but sometimes weird stuff happens. And that's mostly because it's meant for underwater. So do you remember Yu's birthday?
1806. But there's no 0 here.
Hmm.
Maybe that's not it. This is cabin number 1, right? Yeah.
Yeah, this is cabin 1.
1869.
Alright. Yeah, there's plenty of stuff you can scan for the habitat in here, just like mostly like furniture and whatnot.
If I wanted to. First aid kit. Always useful. Oh, it's so cute! Mine.
I forget what that arcade gargoyle is actually a reference to. Might be one of those games that they worked on before.
This place is dangerous.
Yes, it is. I
Okay.
don't know if you can... you can run through.
Okay, captain's quarters.
I forget. No, that's transmission origin. I don't actually remember what the code is. This.
I'm looking, but
It might not be immediately obvious right now, but you might have to look in other rooms, because there's one more room. I can tell you right now it's not in an audio log. I don't know if it's actually said in a log, but there's one more door.
Have we been in here?
We have not been in cabin 3, and there's one more cabin next to the cabin quarters.
Wrong.
It allows you to scan the bed.
Wrong button.
Beds are really useful.
New blueprint acquired.
You mean this cabin?
Yeah, cabin 2.
We can't get in.
Hmm.
Unless you're meaning these cabins.
Probably.
Integrating new PDA data.
Am I gonna need a vent? Hey?
New blueprint acquired.
That's one of those. Yeah. Unlike most of the vanity stuff that you can pick up, the bed actually does something, and you can sleep in it to pass time. Yeah.
Integrating new PDA data.
Yeah, most of these PDAs are either something about Altera or something related to Altera.
You can say this place is smoking. No?
Yeah. No. I don't think a mask quoted.
I got stuck for a second.
Again, it's working with geometry meant for underwater above ground, so... It's to be expected that this geometry is going to be a little wonky.
I mean, we can always look up the code if you want.
I know it's somewhere in the ship, I just don't remember where.
Do you want to keep looking, or do you want to look it up, or what do you want to do?
I don't know if there's really much in the captain's cabin that is of note. Might be somewhere.
Like I said, what do you want to do? Because I know we at least gotta get the,
Just leave it. I think there's just lore in the captain's quarters. And if there is something in there, you can just probably find it later.
I mean, we always come back. It's not like the thing is gonna disappear.
No, it's always here. It's just that it's usually recommended you don't come back, because it is a pain.
Prawn suit.
And the main reason it's a pain is because you always have to wear the radiation suit.
See, one more piece.
There might be one in the water somewhere.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Hello?
What are you?
Same to you!
Lady? Person? Thing?
That wasn't human, whatever it was.
New blueprint acquired.
Alright.
Didn't seem hostile, though. Just curious.
Yeah. Still weirding me out, though. I know there's a way through these pipes. I'm just trying to remember what it is.
It's... Well, I'm not gonna say that, because that can be led into a joke, so I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut on that one. I don't actually remember ever going through the pipes. I don't think I did. I just explored, like, the cabins, and then as soon as I was done scanning prawn suits, I was just out.
place is not safe.
It was shot down. What did you expect?
I think we're near the engine room.
I've never been here.
Aurora black box data. That's
Integrating
useful.
new PDA data.
Huh, so that's where that is. I tried looking up where that was, and it gives real bad directions. Never look up directions on the wiki, ladies and gentlemen, because they are terrible.
I'm glad we got the bigger tank, for oxygen, or this would be really hard to hit.
Yes, it would.
Look at my battery.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yes, I need oxygen. Let me through.
Yeah, there is another way in there via the code door, but I don't remember if that code is written down anywhere significant. I do know if you manage to get onto solid ground, which is sometimes very hard in the Aurora because the geometry is strange.
Come on. Come on.
Welcome to the Aurora, where geometry just doesn't want you to get on land.
Ta-da! Oh, this goes outside.
Yeah.
We have 4 minutes until our time is up, Asher, unless you want to extend it.
Let's see if we can't find a way out of this room, at least.
Well, there is a way. It's that way.
Is it though?
Well, there are boxes and stuff in the way.
Yeah, you can't go through that.
Unless we have, like, the repulsion or propulsion cannon or whatever it's called.
There is a door.
Just need the code for the door. Let's see. Operations logs, maybe? Black box data.
Black box should tell you what happened before the ship went down.
Yeah. I probably shouldn't be doing this underwater. Oxygen again. Lab access, that might be helpful.
Integrating new PDA data.
But first, (6483). And if I'm wrong, I'm gonna be so mad.
0483?
6483.
Got it.
Hard to do this when I'm bobbing up and down in the water. Thank you. Yeah.
Integrating new PDA data.
Ah, so the captain's quarters code is received later.
New blueprint acquired. Databank corruption was detected on your PDA. Your technology blueprints have been updated.
Okay, can we get back where I can get some oxygen, please? So I've got new stuff now? Well, not this new stuff.
Yeah, 6 or 8, so you should have gotten you out of there.
Oh, I got the repulsion cannon now.
Yeah, the prawn suit and repulsion cannon.
Nice, nice. Look at all the stuff I have, Ashtar. First,
Yep.
I need to drink and eat. I only eat that because I have nothing else around me to eat right now, you know what I mean? Right. We're gonna go
Run
a
the code.
little over, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, just get out of the room and then you're good.
Okay, this is just underneath where I was. Okay, so this is just a loop. Okay,
Yeah.
let's get out of here. I opened the
But-
door, come on.
Why? What? I thought that you needed the code to leave, though.
No, I had the code to get into the room to get the stuff, and then I could leave.
Ah.
There's a lot of fire that way, you know?
Yeah?
Fire's not good for your health.
Understandably.
So we got the prawn suit.
Got the repulsion cannon. Prawn
Oh.
suit's probably the most important thing we actually picked up, though.
Yep. Yep, please. Yep, please. Please and thank you. Can I get out? Get up that way.
Yeah, again, the geometry in this game is
Weird.
not... Well, it's not friendly to, when it's above the water.
I think we've gotten the majority of the stuff from the Aurora.
Yeah, you come back for captain's quarters.
Unless you look up the code and, you know, get...
I did, but there's some stuff in there that is, like, definitely for later.
So you're saying we just head out now?
Yeah.
Wait, head out?
Like, stuff in there is sort of spoilery. God.
This is a small pocket of air.
Gonna have to check something in a few seconds, so don't mind me.
Oh, I remember now.
The tribal shielding sustained internal damage during collision. Do not attempt repair without appropriate qualifications.
Thankfully, you don't need to use the fire extinguisher to set down the aurora, so don't worry about it.
What?
I said, thankfully, you don't need to use fire extinguishers except for on the aurora.
You think we should end here, Ashtar?
Yeah, this is a good place to
Warning,
end.
local radiation at maximum tolerable level.
Alright. We can do this in the next stream, yeah?
Acquired.
Yep.
Alright, ladies and gents, this is where we're going to end it for today. Next week we will fix this engine room so it doesn't leak radiation anymore. Then go back to base and build some more stuff, I guess. Because that's all pretty much Subnautica is, right? It says, hey, here, build stuff. Get off the side, get off
Yep.
the rock. But anyway, until next week, stay happy, stay healthy, and don't do anything crazy. Astor, do you have anything before we go?
Not really.
Anyway, this has been AJ.
And Ashtar.
See you guys next week.